What is up, everybody? It is Chef Joe with Chef Gone Carnivore, popping another video up here with some pro tips on how to cook the best bacon. In a restaurant kitchen, the way to cook bacon is on sheet trays. So generally in a restaurant, we've got to cook large amounts and we have way too much to do to just be sitting over a pan, flipping bacon and doing it 4 or 5 slices at a time, cooking it, and only being able to focus on that one thing. So the great thing about cooking it on a sheet tray, other than it producing perfect bacon, is that you can slide it in the oven, set a timer, and then do other stuff. You can prep the rest of the meal, you can go watch some TV, you just set a timer, 20 minutes later you hear the timer, you come back in, you flip all the pieces of bacon, slide it back in, set the timer again, and go off and do what you're doing again. So it's really actively only about 5 or 6 minutes of active work of flipping pieces of bacon. Take a look at this video. I'm going to show you how I go about cooking bacon on a sheet tray, and I think I might convert you to cooking bacon on a sheet tray from now on. So first off, we're going to start our oven 350, and basically you just come out and start loading up your pan with bacon. There we go. I got 1 pack of thick cut bacon just laid out in a sheet tray. Now when it comes to cooking bacon, I think the most important key is a proper rendering of the fat. So whether you like it crispy or whether you like bacon a little on the chewy side, either way, both of those are going to turn out better if you render the fat out properly. So just like with a duck breast starting in a cold pan, I like to put in the bacon into the oven before it preheats. So the oven is still cold. And I'm going to go ahead and start a timer for 20 minutes. All right, so I just pulled out the bacon after the first 20-minute mark. And the first thing I'm going to do is rotate this pan so that when I put it back in, they will have been rotated properly. And then the next thing is I'm just going to flip each of these slices of bacon. All right, so the first 20 minutes is done. We're going to pop it back in for 15 minutes, and then we're going to do this again. So back in the oven. All right, so that second portion, that 15 minutes in the oven, is now up. You can see they're starting to get some color on the pan. You can see the fat bubbling along the sides of the bacon, which is great. That's exactly what we're looking for. I just want to flip these, and first, before I flip, I generally like to rotate it first because then I don't have to remember if I've done it yet. I just know it's already rotated for sure. And now I just need to flip it and I can pop it back in the oven. So, again, I just pull it up and I like to do it away from me. And you can see it's starting to get some color here from the pan. And so the process is starting to speed up here. Anyways, back in. I'm going to pop these back in the oven and then we're going to put them in for 10 minutes. All right, so you can see now that fat's really bubbling around that bacon. We're starting to get some good color on these things. So let me go ahead and rotate this pan. And you can see just how much fat has been rendered out already. Quite a bit. So we're just going to flip these guys. Now, some people like their bacon right at this point. If that's you, then it's ready to pull out, then pull it out and eat it. If you want to take it a little bit longer and get a little bit more crispiness on the outside, then that's what we're going to do on this round. But really at this point, we're going to be putting them in at 5-minute intervals and turning them, and then you pull them out whenever it gets to your bacon preference. So that is up to you at this point. If this is how you like them, you're done. If you like them further on crispier, then we're going to set it again for another 5 minutes. Anyways, this is gonna go back in the oven, 5 more minutes, and then we'll check it again. All right, so there's that last 5 minutes. This is right where I like my bacon. Once it cools slightly, this will crisp up the rest of the way, but it's got great color on it. Lots of good fat render. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this bacon off. Now I like to just let a little bit of that fat drip off if I can, because I want as much of that as possible. I'm just gonna lay it on some paper towels just to blot out any extra fat that's sitting on these. I don't really want them to sit without absorbing some of this fat, because that'll kind of make the bacon sog out a little bit and lose some of its crispiness. There we go. So that bacon's gonna sit there for a minute. I like to let it cool just slightly before I eat it, because it'll crisp up a little bit more that way. So basically what I do is I just, right from the sheet tray, I just put it over the jar, and then I just fill up this little pocket of coffee filter that I made. I don't want to fill it up too much or else it'll spill out the sides. Looks like I'll be able to fit it all right into that. You want to do this part while the fat is hot, because the hot fat will pour off of this sheet pan a lot easier. It'll go through the coffee filter a lot easier, and you'll just get a better yield off of this. So we're gonna let this fat continue to drip through. It's already quite a bit through. You can see there, this is what we got out of one pack of bacon, thick cut bacon. And then next time I cook bacon, I'm just gonna pour it right on top, and I'm gonna label it, the date that I did it, and then put it in the fridge, and then we'll have cooking fat for a while. All right, so what about this bacon that we cooked? Now that we've poured the fat in, this bacon, you can see, stays stiff when you pick it up, this is how I like it. So it's not flabby, it's not floppy, and let's see if it has a good crunch to it. It's got a good crunch, but it still has a slight chew on the inside. It's literally perfect bacon. So if you want to try perfect bacon, try this method. Oven set to 350, but we put it in before it's preheated. You go 20 minutes, then turn all the pieces of bacon, go 15 minutes, turn the bacon 10 minutes, turn the bacon 5 minutes, you're done. That is very good. All right, so there you have it. That's how you cook sheet tray bacon. In my opinion, that's the best approach, the one that gives me the most consistent results and the best quality results. So give it a try. Hopefully seeing that bacon got your taste buds going and that saliva working, and now you're in the mood for some bacon. If you are, cook it on a sheet tray. I think you'll love the results. Couple things to keep in mind. I used thick cut bacon for this. So if you are using either really thick bacon or really thin bacon, the timing may be slightly different. So here's how you adjust depending on the thickness of your bacon. So if it's just regular thick cut bacon, throw it in the oven just like I did. Follow the same 350 degrees, 20, 15, 10, 5, and I think you'll love the results. But if you're using thin bacon, you may not need that last 5 minutes. You may be able to pull it after 20, 15, and 10. So if that's the case, once the bacon gets to the point you like it, stop the process and enjoy it. If you're using extra thick bacon and after the first 5 minutes it's not done enough, then go another 5 minutes or another 5 minutes. However many more 5-minute intervals it takes to get it perfect. So that's all there is to it. So keep that in mind. Depending on how thick the bacon is will depend on how many cycles in the oven you do. But really, it's up to you. How do you like your bacon? Just stop the process once it's there. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to know when other videos are dropping, what other things I'm up to, go ahead and subscribe and turn on alerts. That way you don't miss any of these videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.